Welcome to my first non-stream recording for Total War Warhammer 2. I am Ashen Ninja, the avatar of coffee, and today we are starting a campaign with Grombrindal, the White Dwarf. I'm doing this campaign on very hard for campaign and battles, and his starting troops. So what he gets in his starting army is some Iron Drakes, which are they're pretty damn good. Short range, lots of damage. Being fire attacks as well, they tend to discourage enemies. We have miners with blasting charges, who honestly suck because things like they're melee, but their melee attack and melee defense are just awful really. We've got a gyrocopter brimstone gun. They're okay-ish. Don't really need it. Isn't really a game breaker or anything, so it's not all that useful. The things that Grombrindal himself brings to the party is evasion chance when using the underway. So if I'm in a bit of a pickle, which is it's a good chance to get away in the underway. I'm really good at fighting elves, even though I start near absolutely none of them. And I can call on the power of the ancestor gods, which is I think it lasts for about 20 turns. There's 4 different things we can select. I'll show that when we're more in the game. His lord effects aren't really that great, being just a longer reinforcement range and a leadership of +10. But overall, he is still actually a very good lord to have, especially with those call on the power of the ancestor gods. So, with that, let's dive in. Now, the thing with Grombrindal is I don't actually like the way that he's been done in the game. He's supposed to be more of the mysterious stranger type. So he's when the battle's going bad, everything's going wrong, he's supposed to kind of emerge from the shadows and mists and trees and all that sort of stuff and turns the tide of battle. Creative Assembly sort of brought him in as an actual lord, so he's got an army with him and all that sort of stuff, so it kind of pulls him away from the actual lore as from what I think, but in the end, I still like him anyway, so I'm not going to really complain that much.
Hail to you, Grombrindal, ancestor of legend. You have secured Karazakarak, defended it from the green-skinned fiends, and put their gutless horde to rout. Yet more remains undone. The bloody spears still infest the mountains to the east, setting up their hovels amidst your sacred pillars. Dwarfen lands lay sullied by their sickening taint. You must be the hero of the ancient sagas, and march for their deliverance. To the south, yet more vicious Urki and Groby lay ready to strike at your kin. Perhaps even the loathsome Black Goblin. Know that there are other dwarfen lords who would gladly ally with one so legendary as you for common cause. The dwarfs will know a new age of prosperity, heralded by the battle cry of Grombrindal, the White Dwarf.
Okay, that will be the first and last time we really worry about listening to him. Just thought I'd let that run for the intro. Don't really need to look at all the how they play, etc. I don't think. So that's our living ancestor thing. That'll be next turn, I believe. I'll be able to actually pick up something there. We've got Karazakarak in the Silver Road. I'm going to update that. And we want diamonds. I think diamonds are the best thing to start with. Not really anything else. I mean, growth is useful. More money is useful. We get more money from diamonds anyway. So that'll be plus 600. This is 300, 450, 600, 900. So, and it's also something we can trade with Zufbar since we start up. Zufbar? Barakvar. Too many Vars. So since we start up with a trade agreement with them, multiple ways we get money from that, so that'll be going there. And we have research. At the moment, our primary goal is money, so that we can actually pay for things. So, some income from the settlements there. Oh, look at that. My mouse is quite a distance off for me. Oh, well. So, my mouse is going to be a fair bit off, so I'm actually hovering over Grombrindal there with it, but the mouse pointer is showing fairly low down, so I don't know why. Just doesn't seem to like it too much. But anyway, so Grombrindal's even though he's got grey hair, and he still likes to call himself the White Dwarf, in ancient Dwarven history, he was known as Snorri Starbreaker, and he managed to actually become a demigod, essentially, among the dwarves. Alrighty, let's head into our first battle. We'll try not to get our miners and our miners with blasting charges destroyed, but I mean, as you can see, you look at melee defense of both the miners, and it's 18, which means they just get smashed. But when you look at your dwarf warriors, 40, you know, things like even your quarrelers, who you don't want to get into melee, have a melee defense of 28, even with this, and they still got the same armor value, so it's just, yeah. But anyway, let's crack on through against Nashrak. We want to kill those biggins first off. They're the only things that are really going to be a danger to us. So, let's get into it. So Snorri Starbreaker became a legendary dwarf amongst the dwarves. And so then he sort of started appearing in the middle of battles that were going badly for the dwarves and helped them out a lot. That was essentially how he became a legend. But in the end, like, he shouldn't really be a lord, I don't think. A hero, yes, similar to how they've brought out Lord Croak, whereas he's not a lord. He's just a hero that you can recruit and kicks major ass.
Targets, Lord. Power of the ancestors.
Group them up. Don't think they're going to be coming for me. Are they? No, they're just going to reform themselves and sit in a corner. Can't put baby in a corner, I guess. Let's do a bit of moving up. The idea was we'd stay in formation, but that doesn't seem to have worked. Oh. But it's still a bit out of range. We're going to be fighting in trees, and that kind of sucks. But at the same time, just do what we have to do now. What side are those biggins on? Boys. We don't actually know where the biggins are, so we want to scout that out a bit, I think. That'll be a good idea. Oh, let's try not to get shot too much though. We'll just head across. There they are, so the biggins are on that side. Nope, they've come out to play, it turns out. Didn't like me scouting, apparently.
Come on! Quarrelers!
Quarrelers, you're gonna aim for those biggins. We can deal with some being shot at, so that's not too big a deal.
Now, Groby! Die!
Shoot the biggins. Dwarf Lord, their Orc Lord ain't that interesting. You shoot them. I'll get him into the centre of it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Nice. Change a quarrel's target up a bit. Not entirely sure what those biggins are attempting to do there, but that's fine. Shoot at them. Go for those boys now. Okay, shoot at him, that's fine. They're going to break soon. They are breaking. They're breaking as well. Yeah, they're miners with blasting charges. I probably should have started hitting them. Gyrocopter, you change your target. Toasted orc. Lovely. Alright, you get into him. Just keep you toasting people, just like you like to do, I'm sure. Only 12 kills and no, 67 kills. That's right. Him.
Grombrindal! Dwarf warriors!
Let's try and toast some of more of these boys before they get away, especially these biggins. Yeah, the gyrocopter shooting.
It is a reckoning!
More biggins you can burn, the better. If we can wipe them out, that will be perfect. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of biggins. Feeling a bit toasty. Loving it. Looks like everything's a bit out of range now. Now, these videos will go for about an hour at this stage. I didn't really look at when I started the video now, but that's okay. Sure, something will tell me eventually, maybe. I'm sorry about the mouse cursor being all over the place. Got to try and work out what's doing that. Yeah, so we'll go for about an hour. So we only lost 94, which is good. A lot of that was because those orc boys were just hooking into my miners there. I'll up his leadership because that then sort of transfers onto everyone that's underneath him as far as I know.
You know who I am. On my way.
Okay, so we've gotten rid of a grudge already, which is good. So more grudges we get, the worse things get. So essentially we have this book, but now we've got a grudge to capture Pillars of Grogny. So at the moment we stay in a nice satisfied area, but it can go up and up. So we don't want it to go up here because that means bad for public order, bad for the cost of everything. So we want to keep it low, keep the grudges down. Otherwise they just start costing us too much. For now, I think we want to get commerce because I want to get the movement speed, which is very good. This is only for characters, unfortunately, so I don't think I'm going to bother with that for now. Yeah, lightning strike is good as well, but the main thing I want is the absolutely relentless. Then I'm probably going to work into the red line to increase it to make my quarrelers better, artillery better. Basically, my killingness better. Pop him into camp so that he can replenish, and we'll give him some more dwarf warriors because next turn Gonna be doing some more fighting. We'll see if he ends up in Pillars of Grogny.
The dwarfs need me.
The better we can do with him with replenishment, the better. On the plus side, these guys will take up the bulk of the hits, I think. We'll work on it from there. So, it's the end of that turn. So the White Dwarf, being an ancestor, almost a god, he yeah, like I said, shouldn't be a lord. I actually think what would have been good was a bit of a mix-up of lords, because all three of their lords are essentially melee fighters, tanks. Having a rune lord in there, I think, would have been nice and flavourful of them. There's a few rune lords they could have used. There's one from Karakazula whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head. But you could have come up with some sort of reason that he was at Karazakarak. You know, I mean, you don't need a too complicated a reason. It's no complicated reason why Grombrindal's there. Used to be a pretty rubbish reason why Ungrim was there until they moved him in one of the patches a while ago. Yeah, so for now I think we need to take Pillars of Grogny. Reduce the amount of power these bastards have. Hopefully Zufbar, who are hiding in the darkness up here, they'll be able to take Grompreek. Grompreek, okay, new word, always good. Grompeak, and we smash up some more orcs.
Don't you
So
fret,
I think
it's
what we're going
done.
to do is we'll hit Nashrak again. Might pull out their garrison, which it has. So this will probably be a bit harder, but then again, Nashrak won't last long. Grombrindal doesn't face any danger from anything else, so he can tank basically everything here. So we'll be fine. Just have to try and occupy as many units with our dwarf warriors as possible. White dwarf there looks like he's had something shoved into him. Don't know what's going on there. Okay, so reinforcements coming from that side. Let's move ourselves back like this, I think.
Ready!
This way we can kind of catch both. They'll be good at destroying some gobbos.
Gyrocopter!
So weakened, we can chuck.
Miners!
I think the mine is in that direction.
Valaya, bless our aim!
Want them ready for whoever gets to us first, really.
Gyrocopter!
I think I'll send the gyrocopter up. Archery, but let's see if we can snipe ourselves a bit of a lord, eh? Make him useful. Oh, yep, we should be able to get him out of here. One more shot should do it. Oh, look at that, he's already broken and everything. Let's get him. There we are. Yeah. Since we're over here, let's drop some bombs as well, just to weaken those forces a little bit more. I don't know what to do. Oh. Bombs away! Little bit of harassment never hurt anyone. Waiting for everything to arrive anyway.
It is a reckoning. Range far, range fast.
Nope.
Move now.
Best thing to do, times like this, is select the unit you mean to select. That other army's going to be a little while, so let's move them across. See if we can
Gyrocopter. Shoot the water.
place on fire that way. Don't really want them to take too much fire, but they will. We will get replenishment, so it's not going to be too bad.
Warriors!
Do that a lot. I've really got to stop doing that.
Dowie missiles!
Move them a bit. Okay, yeah. That's pulling back.
Strike out!
They've already taken a little bit of a leadership hit. That would have been because I destroyed their lord. Yep. Some more shots into him there. Change
Nothing
their
can stop us!
angle. Change his angle.
Nothing can stop us! Is it time for the High King? Miners! Aye, as ye command! Iron Drakes! Warriors! Kazook! Kazook! Kazakan Kazakit! Ha! Yes, then! Over here, over there!
Over here, over there. That's
Iron
pretty
Drakes!
non-committal, really. Come on.
Burn my
I'm off to
ears.
intercept them. They sort of make them fairly unhappy. There we go. They're already shaken.
Axes out, lads!
Yeah,
Kill
you
anything
just
without a
keep
beard!
on them. That'll get rid of them. Bye bye, gobbo spears.
It is a reckoning! Attack the axe!
Alright, get out of
Strike
there now.
out! Dwarf
Get
warriors!
into the flank.
Axes out!
You two.
Warriors!
You hit them. You try and run them off again.
Charge!
You are going to go
Move
around.
now! Nothing can stop us! Pump those dwarven legs!
Help out old Grommy.
Range far! Range fast! Dwarf warriors! Off we go! Ready to aim! Plow through! Vengeance! Slay the oath breakers! Aye, as ye command!
Grombrindal is probably going to take a little bit of damage from this, but that's fine. Let's do some toasting.
Taking aim!
They're shattered now.
Fire on the foe!
Everyone's broken. Oh, not quite.
Rattle! Boomback! Gyrocopter! Iron Drakes! Zap!
They're all going to be gone very soon. Oops, don't do that.
Charge! Dwarf warriors!
Very friendly fire is very bad for dwarven health.
Warriors! Kill the oath splitters!
Bad gobbos. What did you guys do for kills? 46, 76, 75, 63. Did alright. Alrighty. That'll be, should be Nashrak gone. And most of that garrison was destroyed as well. Well, half of the garrison-ish was destroyed. Hopefully Nashrak just falls over and dies, otherwise we'll, I guess, fight him again. Fight him again it is.
The dwarfs need me. Forward!
We're going to have to actually destroy that first, but let's just got to resolve our way through that. We'll just occupy that. So another grudge gone.
Your Dowie have been put to work fixing up the camp.
We don't really need to listen to him. He's not very interesting at all. Alrighty, so we have our mission, which we'll do later.
You know who I am.
Sadly, because I had to take the city, because it wouldn't let me go rushing off anywhere. We're stuck there. That's okay. Put out 2 points in Relentless. He shouldn't go too far.
Don't you fret, it's done.
Couple more dwarf warriors.
Grombrindal.
Those goblins did a surprising amount of damage to the dwarf warriors, though. Not a lot of damage to Mr. Brindle, but that's okay. Next turn, we'll chase down Nashrak. And we'll be on our way to some more victories. Excuse me. Now, our main goal for the campaign in this one is going to be uniting the dwarves. I think that's something that Grombrindal would have wanted to do. So even if we can't unite them by confederating with them all, we can unite them by taking at least all of the dwarf holds, I think. So that'll include like basically all of this area. A bit to the north of us up here, a bit to the west. We're going to try and make our way up into the Chaos Wastes, and if the Cracker-Drac dwarves are still there, either confederate or if they're not there, get them. And yeah, so that'll be our main goal. Possibly even over to the far west in the New World. We'll try and take that over as well and get all of our mountainous holds. We'll see what we're going to end up with anyway. So, for this one we've got Grugny's Teachings. So that's probably my favourite. Early game at least. More research, less upkeep, less construction costs and recruitment costs. Very handy at this stage of the game. Grimnir's Strength is good for Grombrindal's army. And in the later game I'll probably be almost solely focusing on that. Possibly also this one, depending on where we are. Up in the Chaos Waste, Valea's Protection probably be really handy. Grombrindal's Fury is only Grombrindal himself, so unless I'm fighting something like Archaon or something like that, I don't really see that much point of it. Even then, by the time I fight Archaon, we'll probably attempt to blow him up with our artillery when we have that option. So for now, we're going to go with Apprentice of Grugny to Grugny's Teachings, because that is a huge hole
I am the White Dwarf.
covered. So for now, let's take out Nashrak.
Heading out. Brungham.
Yep, bye-bye Nashrak and your 1 unit of archers. So apparently Grombrindal took a bit of damage there.
Moving out.
He'll be fine. Now, what we're going to do is something that a lot of people don't really like too much, I suppose. We're going to spend some time training up the White Dwarf. Get him beefy and better. So, we're not going to actually take Mount Squighorn. Really pointless fight to fight as well. But I did lose 130. So, I'm going to sack Mount Squighorn. Now, part of this is, there's two reasons for it. One, if we take Mount Squighorn, these guys are just going to sit here and raid us the entire time. That'll generate grudges, and it makes defending this area a lot harder. And I'd rather get Karazakarak up first and try and get some better troops from being able to actually, get quarrels and stuff and up into rank 3. And we want to get our defences into the Pillars of Grugny. On the other part of it is, we're going to get attacked no matter what. And there's going to be plenty of them striking at us over and over again. And just having the 2 to defend is actually better than having this particular city. It doesn't give us that much, so why take it and defend it if we don't need it? Now, we have some of the Oath Gold, just 30 of it. Probably not going to get anything yet, because what we want to get, there's a few really nifty little things in here. Old Guard's Tankard is okay, but not great, because while it replenishes hit points, doesn't work if you're engaged in melee, and will tend to be engaged in melee. But the other one that's really good is, this is really good when we get a engineer, make him more accurate, see if he can actually kill some stuff. There's there should be another talisman that does some kind of, oh no, it's an enchanted item. It's a blue enchanted item, I believe. Yes, liquid fortification. So we need dwarf beer, we need pottery, we need a fair bit of oath gold for it. But that one, that one is really good because it replenishes hit points just constantly. So we want as many of those as we can get. A couple of other things that are pretty nice. Scepter of Stone's good because you don't get magic as a dwarf. So having something you can hit them with magic-wise, or the enemy with magic-wise, is actually a really, really nifty thing. That's me drinking some coffee, being the avatar of coffee that I am. Need to stop any blood getting into my caffeine stream, otherwise I'll collapse into a heap and start crying. Nobody wants to hear me crying. Whiny, drunken Australian having a cry, it's just no good. No good at all. And besides, I'm not really drunk at the moment. Tipsy, maybe. Maybe. Possibly. It is after lunch after all that I'm recording this. Barely. I should be tipsy by now. It is. If I'm going to be part of the stereotype, that is. Okay, let's have a look here. That's good. First technology researched. More money. We'll go for more money again. We're going to have a few tool makers, so I want both of those. Both of the different tool makers. And I want to get to growth. Then we're going to duck down here to levy missile troops. And make our missile troops better. Because our main killers are going to be the quarrelers. Dwarf warriors are there to hold the line. It's what's their job. They don't really need to kill anything, long as they hold the line. Now, I do want grudge throwers, but I think I'm going to put in a more money building maybe first. Public order could be handy, but we can always farm revolts anyway. Alright, we'll build that up next turn.
How can I help?
Yeah, that's... Oh, I didn't realise I got that. Unbreakable, that'll be really good for my front line. Virtually unbreakable anyway. Sack him. Get him across the border there. So if we keep him nice and close to the border, we might be able to get him into... chuck him in there. Oh, yeah, chuck him in there. For this time round. With inspiring presence. I'll start down the red line now that I've got my bonus movement. I do definitely want to get him lightning strike though. Let's actually go for Eager Kin. Then next upgrade we'll get him lightning strike. Lightning strike will be handy when we've got multiple armies essentially attempting to assault us all at once. That way we'll be able to take them out one. Take out the weaker ones and whittle them down at least. If we do it right, then you end up with 4 armies standing around a settlement. You can just kind of go bang, 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 just whittle them all down, destroy the lot of them with lightning strike. Very, very handy skill. A lot of the time I prefer to jump into the red line before that, just because it's good to have him powering up my ranged units, but right now I don't actually have any ranged units. Maybe I should actually, because I think one of his options gives everyone 10 more defense, melee defense. I think might actually be a better option before going into the red line as well. The mighty bearded defense. Oh, it's only one we're defending. Still, I tend to go for offense over defense, so we won't worry about that for now. First cab off the rank is lightning strike anyway.
Let's go.
So we'll solve our way through another battle.
Where I need it.
That's good. Post battle loot plus 7%. More loot will be handy. Income from sacking settlements plus 3%. That's good. I like doing a bit of sacking.
I'll do it.
Force marching back into the pillars for that lovely replenishment. And we will take our lightning strike. Let's have a quick look around. Yeah, so they're building up armies.
I ain't doing that.
Nothing too difficult there yet though, so that's fine. Build that, and we want more money. More money. Next turn we'll do our attack, get back across the border here, and then we'll recruit some crossbowmen. I know it seems like a pretty dodgy thing to do, but I don't mind. Basically what we want to do is we want to lure as many orc and goblin armies up to around our province up here as possible. The more up here the better. That way I destroy them. The end. I hear orc blood's really good for fertilizer. It's fantastic stuff. I do want to upgrade Pillars of Grogny,
You have my axe.
but I
I'm
want
here
more
now.
Corollas more than I want to upgrade Pillars of
To
Grogny.
battle. On my way.
Another hit. Yeah, that's always bonus. Ooh, speed, that's a very important thing for
The
dwarves,
dwarfs need me.
as they have none. No speed whatsoever. Another very important thing that I nearly forgot about is having less figure loss. So I don't think that's too much of an issue at the moment, so we'll go through that.
Our enemies
Grab
shall
our 3
tremble.
crossbowmen. Next turn we should be able to upgrade the Pillars of Grogny as well.
You know who I am.
After that, I think we just want one more crossbowman from there. That'll give us 5, so that's a good number. We'll get rid of these guys at some stage as well. And we're going to want to put in some grudge throwers as well. Then we'll really be able to start taking on some orcs and goblins. They won't know what hit them. Mostly because they'll be dead, so... As far as I know, when you're dead, you don't really know what hit you. I could be wrong, of course. I'm wrong about so many things. I mean, who really wants to be right all the time? That'd be a bit boring. How else would you get into arguments and have sleepless nights over things? Just be boring, boring, boring. Boring, boring, boring. Alrighty. Well, they're starting to make a move. Not a very large move, admittedly, but it's a move. They went from Gragdron to nearly Mount Squighorn. That's fine, just fine. Grey bearded one can now start on the Armour of Glimmeral scales. Move a character to Karak Norn. When I have a character I can do that with, I'll have to remember to do that. About second, so our treasuries are now making us money. Let's add some tool makers to the group. No interesting announcements or anything like that.
White Dwarf.
Oh,
You are mistaken.
actually, I haven't rebuilt for once. That's a bit of a bummer.
I'll
Him.
see it done.
Two of them. Get a third one of those in at a later date. I'll upgrade him.
Zog right off!
He wants us to zog off. So we will zog off into the end turn. Now what I keep forgetting to do in the end turn, and during my turn, is fix up the camera settings. So we want ours to move faster. Let's move theirs nice and fast, because these end turns just take forever, and the faster that their lords move, the better. You can just go zippity zappity zap across the map, and I'll go, huh, what was that? And then I'll end up getting snuck up on by some sort of lord and having my ass kicked. We all want to see me get my ass kicked. Maybe not in the game, but, you know, in reality, lots of people want to see my ass get kicked. Who can blame them, really? I am a jerk. Now, are the spears going to do anything?
Ask your favour, and I will check with the Demas Crom that you are worthy.
Zufbar wants something. They always end up in the wars with the vampires all over the place, so we'll accept the non-aggression pact. At this stage, I don't want to get into a full-on alliance with them. Ooh, looky. They're on their way. That makes things fun. We'll pop Grombrindal across the other side there, and we'll see if we can set up an ambush for him. They don't tend to go for Karazakarak early on. They tend to keep going after the Pillars of
How
Grogny.
can I help?
So if we go to
Moving out.
here, let's see. Yep,
Don't you fret. It's
ambush.
done.
We're still replenishing. Can't build anything. Can't talk to anyone. Greybeard's prospectors. They always hate us. No idea why. Nothing interesting in diplomacy. So when it comes to getting a new lord, we are going to be able to get Thorgrim, but we still need six more grudges. We're still a bit off get any heroes. Need at least another rank up here, so we can get some Thanes in. Nice little tank they are. Not interested in Thunderers or Cannon, to be honest. Cannon, they're good, but they don't have an arcing shot like the Grudge Thrower does. Arcing shot is really, really handy for sieges, and because we're up against a lot of orcs and goblins, we're talking mobs, so anti-infantry is better than anti-large. They don't really have a great deal of large. But we really, really want to get up to this. Oh, yes. organ gun. Basically, it's anti-everything. Does so much in the way of killing. I've always liked the idea of the flame cannon, and have they actually increased its range? I'm sure it used to only be 140. I might have to look into getting one of those. Anyway, for now, I remember, so I used to actually play a bit of the tabletop game. So I remember in the earlier editions, the flame cannon was ridiculously amazing. It caused panic. It had a decent range. You could get it to shoot almost across the entire battlefield. Had a decent template hit. It was great. By the time just before they did the end times and they were updating things and ruining a few things in that, the flame cannon was, well, shit. It kind of sneezed a little bit of fire and then would get charged by the enemy. It'd still do a lot of damage, but you had to get really close to be able to actually do anything. And it was just a pain in the ass. Alright, because I want them to be fairly mobile. Give them the extra speed. 15% more speed would be good for them. Still low speed, but that's fine. Okay, let's see. They're shielded fast, but they will fall to pieces. They shoot stuff, but their damage is nothing, and almost everything I've got's shielded. They're nasty. Skulkers are awful. We want to destroy them. Orc boys, yep, whatever. Yeah, this shouldn't be too big a deal. So let's get stuck in. Stuck in. Do some wrecking. I'd like to have a third grudge thrower for this battle, but 2 will do. I've got a decent amount of ranged, and we should be able to hold them off nicely. Let's plonk our army back here a bit though. So plonk them up there. Our quarrelers in front.
Dwarf
Warriors in front of them. We'll put miners on our flanks to try and hold off some of those wolves. We'll face them this way though, because we don't really want them getting into our flanks, because they will cause a lot of problems for us if they do that.
Dwarf warriors!
Move him back.
For the High King!
Back. No, we won't move him back. What we'll do is we'll put fire on that corner. Because fire is always good. Gyros can sit there. Grombrindal can stand out front, look angry at everyone. Now let's see what would actually be a good idea for them to shoot at. Gobbo archers is a waste of ammo. Let's see if we can break an old boys unit. Lots of riders from each side. Hopefully they do stupid things and just run in front of some of my shooters.
For the High King!
Let's actually change his.
Range far! Range fast! Gyrocopter! Plow
Sits.
through! I got it!
Get him firing.
Brooch thrower! Stop! Strike out! Move now! Range far! Range fast! Aye! Go! Go! Charge! War machine ready! The next kill's ours! Nothing can stop us! should I go? Yes, yes! Go!
Oh, they actually got a charge in there. That's no good.
Bring them
You guys
down!
have to start shooting
Hit
them,
your
I think.
targets well! Kill them! Brute thrower! Moving out!
Okay, let's move you around here a bit.
Zah! The clans
Shoot
unite!
them.
Get them!
Pop him out.
Hit your
There's
targets
you,
well!
you. Let's try and break some of these guys first off.
Miners! Let the vengeance begin! Strike
So,
out!
yeah, you wanna-
Will do! And it!
They're doing okay despite not really being
Down with
melee
the
troops.
missiles!
It's okay.
For the High
You
King!
two can fire at
Die!
goblin archers now. Oh crap, they're way out of position.
We are relentless!
Don't want that.
Quarrelers!
Okay, we'll pull these guys back.
Move! Get moving! Power of the ancestors! Take them down! Take them down! By my beard!
There.
Quarrelers! Fire on the foe! Miners! Kazukan Kazikita! Shake
They're not going to get far out. They're going to do very badly this time. Actually done quite badly for them.
Kill the oath splitters!
Alrighty, let's get these guys firing into some of these units.
Yes! Get him! Quarrelers! Very well.
Break them.
Brute thrower! Put those dwarven
Come
lads!
back into their...
Nothing
There.
can stop
Back
us!
in there. They can go back to shooting now.
Stop! They have wronged us! Now!
Guys got
Kill
shoot
them
at them.
all in Beard's reach! War of vengeance!
Oh, that's not good. I don't want them to die. Come on. Pull them back.
No!
Get out. Get out, boys. You're gonna go. Ah, bugger.
Is it time?
Come on, you hit him.
Quarrelers! Withdraw! Right? Take them down!
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to lose my Iron Drakes this early on.
Fire undimmed!
Oh,
Yes!
what an awful general I am. Okay.
Miners!
We don't seem
For
to
the
have...
ancestors!
Oops. No, you stay there.
Withdraw!
Stay there. Stay there.
Miners! Get him!
Keep,
For the
keep
ancestor
firing,
gods!
assholes. Oh,
Blow out! Kazook!
okay, that's not going so well in that blob over there. I was in combat here. I don't think so.
For the Karaz
Jeez, we've got
encore!
some breaking units at the moment.
Will do! Yes!
Hit those orc boys.
Miners! Move!
Oh, looks like we've made the... Oh, that actually turned into a slightly harder battle than I was expecting.
Pick your targets well!
Let's,
My garden! Quarrelers! On!
oh, so they may not make it. But then they may. So let's see. See what happens. That battle went much worse than I was expecting it to. quite reduced the numbers. 51 kills, 80 kills, 102 kills. Quarrelers did alright. They did quite badly. I managed to get them into melee too early on. These guys, I think it was just because the Orc Lord was around too much, really. So that was not very good. Not very good. And I didn't see the nasty skulkers at all. But they didn't kill anyone. And they got slaughtered. So that's good. That's good. Doesn't look like I lost any units, I think. So those Iron Drakes are the ones that I have the most worries about. We'll see. No, they lived. Excellent. That's driven Nashrak off again, I hope. I don't want to have to fight him again, but I'm probably going to need to. I will get some replenishment over the end turn though, luckily. So it might not be as bad as I think if I have going in and fighting him again.
The Dwarfs need me.
It's a bit of a tattered front line, but
How can I help?
we should be okay. So he should be even more tattered than we are. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this out. If we can take out Nashrak, we'll complete what we're going to do for this turn, and that will be the end of episode 1 of Grombrindal. And we have a lovely, lovely map. We should be able to hopefully just funnel them in and just bomb the crap out of them. Alright, excellent. So they're going to be crossing there, so we want to make sure our grudge throwers can reach them. We want quarrelers down in front as well.
Dwarf warriors!
Warriors are going to be at a bit of an angle, so that's not going to be the best, but that's okay. You guys just face back. And anything that gets behind us, try and set fire to it. Miners can hold my flanks again. Put Grommy up the front. And we'll put the gyrocopters over here, and we'll just get them doing some harassment as well. We're going to want him firing on Orc Boys.
Move now!
Him closer. You boys are going to have Orc Boys to hit. First shots will probably go at those archers, that's fine.
Next kill is ours!
First shots don't look like they killed anything.
Warriors!
Bit of concentrated fire on them would be nice. The archers, they've got other wolf riders as well, I think. Less concerned about those.
Go! Move! Plow through! Kill them all in beard reach! Miners! Range fire! Range fast!
Apparently I didn't put them on the flanks, I completely screwed up where I was putting them. That's not good.
Dwarf warriors!
Get some dwarf warriors down there as well.
Gyrocopter! Pick your targets well! Warriors! We demand blood! Let's turn the tide! Dwarf warriors! Warriors!
Let's get some concentrated fire going.
Take them down! Count those dwarfen legs! Dwarf warriors! Hey, to arms! Root thrower! Stop! Fire on the foe! Warriors!
Okay, the more of these guys we can take out, the better.
Take them down!
It's one enemy lord down.
To it!
Jump in there. You jump in there as well. Got all 5 quarterly units going to hit these boys from behind, so that'll wreck them pretty hardcore very quickly. There we go. That unit's gone. Now let's hit those guys. You can all sit on him. You can shoot at him. They're rallying. Don't want them to rally. Back here. Let's just stop you guys from shooting. Yeah, shoot at them. Do that for me. There we go. Another battle won. I've really got to get rid of those friggin' miners. Useless bastards. Once they're replaced with more dwarf warriors, that'll perform better. Might do that. Might get rid of those 2 units and get 2 dwarf warriors and another grudge thrower. That should sort that out rather nicely. And we'll have a nice solid front line. Got dwarf shield, dwarf armor.
Moving out!
And that's the last we saw of Nashrak for the moment. Say for the moment, because he won't last. Never does. Okay, so you and you can go bye-byes.
I'm here now!
Probably a lot of people see that and they're like, but all these dwarf warriors are down and injured, sad. Don't matter. Don't matter. Don't want the miners. They just can't hold a line. And we don't have any big armies coming, so we'll have plenty of time to replenish. We'll have to go back and we'll have to sack Mount Squighorn again. All of that will come in the next episode. For now, we'll leave him swinging his arm about the place. Pretty sure he's supposed to be holding an axe. Anyway, hope this hasn't been too boring an episode. We're going to have more episodes after this. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.